I like this. Obama, as you know, has been traveling in Latin America. He was in Argentina, or somebody, I think Hernan told me I should pronounce it Argentina. Argentina. And yesterday, Obama expressed regret, didn't apologize, expressed regret for the failure of the United States to acknowledge the brutal repression and the atrocities that took place during Argentina's dirty war in the 70s and 80s. Obama said at the Parque de la Memoria, a monument to the war's victims, where he attended a ceremony for the 40th anniversary of the 1976 military coup that began the Argentine dictatorship, Obama said, quote, "There's been controversy about the policies of the United States early in those dark days," end quote. Controversy? Controversy? Where the United States was supporting terror regimes all over the goddamn country, but especially in Central and South America? Controversy, Mr. President? Is that the word of the day? Controversy. Okay. Obama said the United States has to examine its own policies and its own past. We've been slow to speak out for human rights, and that was the case here. Well, that's true as far as it goes, but that's as far as it goes. That was it. He made a statement, all done. All done. Obama's remarks came after he toured the memorial with President Mauricio Macri of Argentina, walking beside a hulking gray stone wall engraved with the names and ages of 20,000 victims and 10,000 blank spaces left for those who have yet to be identified. The president of Argentina referred to this period as, quote, "the darkest period in our history." That was one of Henry Kissinger's operations. Chile, Argentina, Central America. Jesus. After the president was driving around Buenos Aires, and where else was he? I guess it was Buenos Aires. Human rights groups first had reacted angrily to the timing of Obama's trip, arguing that it was inappropriate for him to visit at the moment that Argentina was commemorating a tragic turn in its history that many believed was condoned and in some cases enabled by the United States. Many believe? I guess what that means is there are a lot of us who understand the truth, but not enough to prevail upon the government of the United States to offer an abject policy to so many countries for the shit that we did under Kissinger and Nixon and then the Bush-Cheney cabal of terrorists and murderers. Jesus. Anyway, Obama's motorcade passed a gathering of hundreds of demonstrators being physically restrained by police in riot gear. They were shouting angrily and making lewd gestures as they held placards and flags with slogans and images of the Perón family. Maria Estela Martinez de Perón was ousted in that 1976 coup. In Buenos Aires, President Macri thanked Obama for participating in Argentina's Day of Remembrance. And the president of Argentina said nations must not be passive onlookers of human rights violations. Mr. Macri said, quote, "This is a marvelous opportunity for all of the Argentine people to say together, never again to institutional violence." Can you imagine Republicans expressing regret That's how the New York Times put it, expressing regret to the president and the people of Argentina for the evil, murderous activity of the U.S. government. And this is stuff, this is the problem. This is really the problem. You know, you and I, and all, I don't know, what was the population back in the mid-70s? 250 million of us. We had no idea this was going on. We had no idea. Nobody even knew about the School of the Americas. No, they really didn't. I mean, people who could raise a protest about it. And how in Fort Benning, Georgia, School of the Americas, these dictators and right-wing death squads and fascist military officers were being trained in the techniques of torture, interrogation, disappearances, murder, mayhem, and then turned loose on their own populations. This is what the leadership of the United States did. And you and I, what were you doing in the 70s? I was active in the anti-nuke movement. I had no idea this shit was going on. Did you? Did anybody? I guess some people did, and they were probably trying to let the rest of us know, but when did you find out about what was happening in Central America? When did you find out about the death squads in El Salvador and Guatemala and where else, Kathy? Honduras and the so-called counter-revolutionaries in Nicaragua? When did you find out about that? But it's not us. It was our leadership. That sounds like a cop-out. That sounds like the German people in the 30s saying, or in the 40s saying, "Oh, I had no idea this was going on." Maybe they didn't. How can you watch the disappearance of 6 million people though without thinking something was going on? I mean, they didn't all go on holiday at the same time. But we didn't know, did we?